Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Elevate Your Life podcast. We are doing episode number 95 today. Moving way up there. Wow.
95.
We are continuing our series, as we do every single Thursday, on leadership. We are working out of the book, The 21 Laws of Leadership, which John just released at the beginning of the month in June here of 2022. And it's the 25th year edition of this book. So it's been around for a while, and a couple changes John's made to the book as he's learned different things and new things over the past 25 years, as we all have. So today, Cheryl, we are on law number 5, the law of addition. So if you missed any of the past laws, we definitely encourage you to go back and listen to those. Also, if you go to elevateyourlife.com, you can get the notes for this. And in the notes, there is a copy of the 21 Laws of Leadership score sheet that we developed. So you can go through these laws and literally rate yourself on a scale from 1 to 10, make some notes, maybe. And then I also have a section there for adjustments, anything that you want to be focused on changing to improve yourself with each one of these laws. Michelle, this is one that you really have mastered. I mean, you're a 10 in this area of addition, adding value to other people. It's we do here on this podcast. It's the only reason we do this podcast is to add value to other people. So
I love it. I really want to start, Paul. Yeah, I really want to start with a quote by John, because I love this quote. It says, "I believe the bottom line in leadership isn't how far we advance ourselves, but how far we advance others." That is like a whole new concept. We were just talking about this at church, and really what it is it's just being a servant leader, right? Yeah. So it's being of service to other people. And by doing that, and I'm excited to talk about this today, and being able to do that means that we have to grow ourselves. So we'll get into that a little bit more and talk a little bit more about that. But
let's talk about this big shift though, Cheryl, going from being a position leader that a lot of people are to making the switch over to servanthood leadership.
Yes. I mean, it's huge. And I think it's interesting to think that there's two different kinds of leadership, right? The position where, you're a leader because you were hired as a leader, right? You're hired. That's your position at your job or whatever. And then the servanthood leader. But now the difference, the position leader is, they ask the question, what can you help me with? So it's all about me. And then the servanthood leader asks, what can I help you with? Yeah. And that's huge. I mean, it's completely different. And the shift in your mind has to be, there has to be a shift that takes place if you're thinking that it's all about position.
Right. And again, Cheryl, I mean, I love getting your text every single morning saying, "Hey, Paul, what can I help you with today? Like, I'm here to serve you."
Hey, I'm all about it. I'm all about it.
So awesome. Well, Cheryl, we teach a lot of courses, and we're here to elevate your entire life. One of the areas that we do focus on is business. And we have one quote that we've used forever to live by. It's by Zig Ziglar. And what is that quote that we live by, Cheryl?
That is, you can have anything you want in life as long as you help enough people get what they want.
Obviously, there's been a lot of quotes over the years, millions of quotes out there, but I don't know about you, Cheryl, but this is my favorite one by far.
It is. It's so good. And you know what I love is that there's just very simple 3 steps to ultimate success. Now that's what I'm really excited about, because I love steps. Step 1, step 2, step 3. So Paul, I love these that we came up with. The first one is make a list of everything that you want in your life.
Sure. I mean, that's fun.
Yeah, it's like it's like a vision board, right? That's what it is.
Vision board. It's the vision you see for your future. It's Zig's first half of his quote. You can have anything you want in life, and we both believe that you need to sit down and make that list out of what the heck do you want. Because once without that list, you're not going to take the massive action that you need to help other people. Now, once you have that list, you need to put that list over to the side and do the next 2 steps, which are.
Okay, number 2, Ask others what they want. That's number 2. And number 3 is help them get it. So I love that. So as long, it's so, like, it seems so simple, but for me, I was just never aware that that's what you're supposed to do. Right. And so I think that, of course, always for me, the very first step is becoming aware that that's how we get it. And then just moving forward.
It's ridiculously simple. I mean, okay, so making a list of everything you want in life, that's no problem whatsoever, because I got a list
That's
2 miles long. Yeah. And then just going around asking people what they want. I mean, hey, what do you want? And a lot of people won't be able to answer that question, but you can help them answer it and then help them get it. It's so awesome. That's why we love being coaches, being life coaches, health coaches, to help people get what they want. This quote is so awesome. And those 3 steps, Cheryl, are 3 steps that people should put on your refrigerator, because that's how you become successful in life.
Yeah. And I just love this next quote, Paul. When you add value to people, you lift them up, help them advance, make them a part of something bigger than themselves, and assist them in becoming who they were made to be.
Wow.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah. A lot of people will be like, well, why do I want to add value to people? But to read that quote, and again, the quote's in the notes when you download them, the feeling of lifting people up, the feeling of helping someone advance, make progress in life, making them part of something bigger. I know, Cheryl, you and I are both huge on community, especially over the past 3-4 years. Community's been the number 1 word. And really assisting them. And this is the part I really, really love, is assisting them become who they were made to be. I think people live in this box and they just need someone to kind of give them a little push outside the box and push them in the direction and challenge them to step out and become who they're made to be.
Yeah, and I think it's so important too. And I know we've talked a lot about this, Paul, but it's so important to help them with a vision for themselves, right? Because if you don't have a vision, then there's really, you don't know where to go. You don't know what you're doing. You're not sure. And you kind of get on that hamster wheel. I know I talk a lot about that, but I think you do. And then you lose sight of what you want. You lose sight of something bigger than yourself. I mean, I'll tell you, when I very first, started thinking about and getting into this whole idea of helping others get healthy, and I know that we do that, but when I really got into that, oh my gosh, the joy that it creates is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Right. And so I think, and to really have that vision and let other people know that that's available and that there's, that's something that they could certainly choose to do. I mean, it's so great. And and we grow as we do it, right? We grow so that we're able to help others grow also.
Absolutely. And I'm always thinking about the number 1 analogy that comes to my mind every single day is that front cover of the puzzle. We all have a massive, whirlwind going on in our lives, except for you, Cheryl. I know everything is super calm and organized in your life, but the rest of us, we have a lot of whirlwind going on, and our life literally feels like it's 5,000 pieces all over the place. And when you get up in the morning, and a lot of people are just, the daunting task of thinking you have to put this puzzle together, this puzzle of life, is almost, seems almost impossible.
Right.
Makes no sense. But man, if you got a front cover and you know what it's supposed to look like in the end, you can put that puzzle together, no problem. So I just think that front cover is everything. And I love what you said about helping people design that vision board, that front cover to their puzzle, so they can see what this is supposed to look like and what this is going to look like in the future. And when you have that, it gives you hope, it gives you direction, it gives you everything.
Right. Well, Paul, let me ask you this. Why do you want to become a better leader?
That's a
great
fantastic question. Yeah.
Yes.
One that everyone needs to answer. And so I always go back to the 6 human needs. So we know that every single person does every single thing in their life for one of 6 reasons, and it's to meet one of their 6 needs. So obviously I want to become a better leader, number one, because my need for contribution is so high.
Yeah.
It's something that makes me feel fulfilled in life. And we've always talked about success without fulfillment is ultimate failure.
Yeah.
So we really want to have that feeling of fulfillment inside of us. And we get that from contributing to other people's lives, feeling that we've made a significant impact in another human's life, one way or the other. Now, to do that, I have to meet my number one need, which is growth. So it forces me to grow. Like I have to read these books. I have to study. I have to become better so I can help more people. Because at the beginning, I didn't even know how to help people. So I had to go through, it really forces me to go through some massive growth, which is the most enjoyable thing for me to do in life, is to grow. So that's what Elevate is all about. It's about growing. So for me, I mean, the need of contribution, the need for growth. And I love this statement that John says here, that the more intentional you have been in growing personally, the more you have to offer. The more you continue to pursue personal growth, the more you will continue to have to offer. So I know, Cheryl, we always push personal growth first. That's where it starts at. It's working on yourself.
I'm just excited that we can grow and that we can get better. Like, I didn't know that. I thought it was all about, well, you are who you are. So let's hope you're good.
Yep. And Cheryl, I know
So
another big need for the 2 of us is connecting with other people, really having, being stuck, during COVID behind our computers and in our homes was horrible for people like you and me, because we just love connecting with people.
Yeah.
And then of course, Cheryl, I know one of your
favorite.
big needs is variety. And
My
God
very
knows that when you're a leader, you got a lot of variety in your life, because there's new problems and things happening every single day.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. Yes. And I do love variety. That is true.
Yeah. So there's 4 of my needs met just from the goal of becoming a better leader. So I encourage people, you can steal mine, you can make up your own, but you need to know why you want to become a better leader. And Cheryl and I, we're the reason why we love leading is because, again, that number one thing is contribution, and we're here to help you improve your life. We're here to help you go from fine to fabulous. So I love that, Cheryl, and I love what we do. So Cheryl, let's close out this podcast by talking about the 3 guidelines for adding value to others. So how the heck do we add value to others?
Well, the first thing we do is that we truly value others.
Yeah.
So that's the way. And that's interesting to me, that we add value to others when we truly value others. That's, I was not ready for that. I will put it that way. I was not ready for that to be one of them, but I think that's
makes total sense.
So true.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. And I love the whole idea of, that nobody's better than anybody else, right? We are all equal, and we're all, and I really like that one. That's one of my favorites.
Yeah. I honestly, unfortunately, I think in the world today, you'll see a lot of leaders maybe not value, you see, especially in politics, you see governors and other people, they kind of, they come off a little bit like it's all about me, and I'm in control and stuff like, I'm not mentioning any names, but just seems that way to me. And they're not seeing the value in other people, and this goes not just for politics, but corporate America. It's all over the place, where people are just not really seeing value in other people. They just like, hey, what can that person do for me, kind of thing, as opposed to, hey, that's a valuable person. And I see that, I think everyone's a 10. Like I agree with you. Everybody is equal, so there's not like, so I don't see people like, oh, there's no value in that person.
Right. And I like the whole idea of looking at it like it's a relationship, right? It's not, it's not, oh, I'm over you or above you or anything like that. It's just a relationship. And I love that. And I think that that's a really great way to look at it.
Yeah. I also love what John said, that all relationships either add or subtract from a person's life.
Right.
We always talk about you're either elevating or you're going down. It's there's no, oh, I'm just kind of like status quo
Hanging
or
out.
staying the same, whatever, hanging out. Yeah. No, you're not.
No.
You think that's happening, you're declining right now.
Right.
You just can't see it yet. So it's, I truly believe this, that every single relationship we have, we're either lifting or leaning. I'm just going to go lean on that person for a little bit and not give anything to it. And I really believe relationships and relationships and just in general, whatever relationship you're talking about, it's not about what can that person give to me, but what can I give to them? Like I believe relationships is a giving area of life.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, Paul, number 2 is we add values to others. We add value to others when we make ourselves more valuable to others.
This goes back to the growth thing.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And I think we have to be very intentional about growing ourselves, right? Because then as we grow ourselves, then we'll have more to offer others.
Yeah. Yeah, and that
Yep.
just makes sense. I mean, we talked about that before, that you have to work on yourself first.
Mm-hmm.
And last but not least, Cheryl, we add value to others when we
know what others value. So it's asking the questions, right? We've talked so much about the importance of asking questions. And again, here it is, right? And I think my mom always says, oh, let me just see if people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And I always remember that. And that's exactly what this is, the being a leader, that's what it's all about, right? And I think new leaders, well, we know this, when you're a brand new leader or you're a leader by position only, then I think that they just are quick to lead before knowing anything about the people who they're leading.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah.
But it's
and that
so
just
true.
Does not make sense.
I know a lot of leaders that have been quote unquote leaders for a long time and still haven't quite figured this out yet. But I love what John says about mature leaders, Cheryl. If you could just share that with us.
Yes. So mature leaders listen, learn, and then lead. I think, yeah. So I think they really get to know the people that they're leading. They want to know their stories, their hopes, their dreams, their aspirations, and I think that they really pay attention to the people that they're leading.
Yeah. Once we discover what's valuable to them through that process you just went through, now we know what to do, where to go from there with that person and
right.
And lead them in the direction that they need to go. And when we do that, Cheryl, everybody wins. The organization wins, the leader wins, the followers win, everybody wins when we're really focusing on these 3 guidelines. So I love these 3 guidelines, Cheryl. I think they're just gold.
Yes.
As far as, becoming a great leader, those are the 3 absolute keys to doing it. And Cheryl, our +1 is, we're just going to go back to our quote. We want everybody, if leave this podcast with one thought, it's that you can have anything you want in life as long as you help enough people get what they want. And you live by that quote, you will have an amazing life, massive success and massive fulfillment. So love it, yes.
Cheryl. And you will move from fine to fabulous. Absolutely.
There you go. Win.
I love wins.
I do too. Speaking of wins, we'll be back next Thursday with another win and talking about the next leadership law number 6. So we encourage you to get the book, The 21 Laws of Leadership by John Maxwell. Follow along with us. So basically read the chapter, read law number 6 prior to the release of it next Thursday. so that we can just add our 2 cents in. And we'd love to hear your comments about these different laws and how they apply to your life or what you've experienced so far in your life being a leader with these laws. So until next week, have a great time, everyone. Keep elevating.
Yes.